What's your name?
My name is Jae Jordan.
And what is your dream?
I have so many dreams, but I guess the bigger picture dream would to just um, be successful, in my business and just also in like personal life. Have my family around, and everybody's taken care of, and I get to just make my art.
What got you into your art?
I really just always was artistic my whole life. I probably just started like drawing and arts and crafts, but then I did music a little bit. I played the cello, and then I danced too, so I kind of was all over the place.
Wow, multi-talented. Okay. Do you have any current inspirations?
I'm always really inspired just by like people. So I feel like people is like what makes culture, and like artists look to culture to make art. So I think just, our people.
If you could describe your brand's style, what would you say?
My style for my brand is something I'm still like developing because I didn't really have like a mission statement or like a plan when I first started my business. I was like, let me just get my LLC. So I'm still developing it, but I think my style is, I try to be like, try to not be so gender like conforming. So I do stuff for women, stuff for men, but really I like to just keep it like it's clothes. It doesn't have a gender, and so I think I'm developing my style off of that.
Do you have any plans for another fashion show anytime soon?
Yes, I do actually. So
Really?
on September the 3rd, I'm doing a fashion show and then like a listening party. So I've been executive producing this album for the band, so I'm gonna do like a little two-part of it. And it's gonna be at River Bar and Gallery. Have you been there?
I have not been there.
It's pretty cool. It's all like graffiti and
Is
stuff.
it downtown?
Yeah, it's downtown, but it's kind of I think east side.
East side?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you already have like models lined up that you're willing to
I have
looking at?
models that I want. I've only talked to like a couple of them, but I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 other designers, so I'm gonna send them to them and let them know, and then ask them.
Do you know how many pieces you're gonna do for this show?
I'm gonna figure it out.
How many pieces do you have so far for it, or is it still just all in the works right now?
Yeah, just because right now like I have a bunch of stuff, but I've already showed it, so I'm probably just gonna be working the rest of the month.
Okay. Do you feel like Denver is a good market for your brand?
I don't know. Only because like Denver, like there's a lot of room to grow and like build and all that stuff, but like there's just I don't know. Like I went to LA recently, and like I had brought the stuff that I had in my last show in May, and like they were telling me like in LA you could sell this for like $300-400. And it's like I cannot sell that for that in Colorado. I can't so I always have to undersell myself. So I think eventually it could be, but right now I think it's probably not the best market.
How much does it cost to make your stuff?
It depends, but yeah, cause some of my stuff like I try to recycle, like it's fabrics from like the thrift store and stuff like that. But then other fabrics like I will buy them just straight from the manufacturer, and those ones are more expensive because it's really like yardage is the most expensive, and then the time and like any little motions and all that. So it's pretty expensive. I don't know how much exactly, but it's a lot of money.
Well, if Denver isn't a good market, where else would you like to relocate for your fashion?
So let me just say this. I think for the clothes it's not a good market, but I think definitely for like the community and like the event stuff it's a good market. So when I do relocate, I want to kind of, people are like bi-coastal and they go from LA to New York. I kind of will just wherever I'm at, maybe be like by state, come back to Denver. But I've always wanted to go back to Illinois and live like in the city because I'm from, like I was telling you, Joliet, which is like southwest of Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was always like when I was a kid, I always like wanted to live in the city. So I still want to do that, and I still have a bunch of family out there, And if not Chicago, like I've thought about Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta though. And then
I feel like you'll fuck with it though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like I feel like it would be.
I feel like it's more your vibe than mine. I'm like an LA boy, so.
Yeah, I'm not. Everyone always is like, you should go to LA, and I'm like, y'all see these thick ass fabrics I use? This is not LA weather. Like you're gonna die of heat stroke. But or I mean, when I have money, I'll go to New York. But I don't want to be poor in New York. So
You would do great in New York.
Like I'd rather like have enough money to just travel back and forth before moving next. I just don't want to be poor in New York. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. Okay, in 5 years I'll be 30. So I definitely want to be like making some more money off of this for sure.
Definitely.
I definitely have plans to expand my business in different ways. I just don't know how long it's gonna take. So I want to be like close to those goals by then, and then I also want to dang, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I want to own a property.
Mm-hmm.
I want to own a property.
Do you honestly feel supported in Denver with your art?
I think like it's like 50-50. Like sometimes like there's some people I feel a lot of support from, and there's some people it's like yeah, like okay. You know how it is. So I think it's a little up and down. Sometimes I feel not supported, but I do have like my people in the community, whether it's like music or fashion, that do support me. So I'm like that's enough for now.
Is there any big names you want to collab with in the clothing scene or have a model for your brand?
I definitely would want to work with like Pierre Moss. It's a brand, and actually the designer's name is I don't want to fuck it up because it's 3 names, but his first name's Kirby, and then there's another name, but Kirby is with Pierre Moss, and they're a black-owned luxury brand. They're pretty popular. I think Telfar Clemens would be dope to work with. I love Telfar.
You have a bag? Is that it? Yeah. That is one.
This is like, oh, let me not fall. This is one of my first ones.
That was like 400, wasn't it?
No, they're not. These ones are not expensive. The big ones are like. So it's. I think the small one's like 150. I think this one's like 250 or 275.
That's not
and the big
bad.
one's like 3 something. So it's not bad. His other bags, you know, but he keeps those ones on purpose, like cheaper, so that people can, you know, afford his brand. You know.
Yeah.
And then for models, I think Alton Mason is really dope. I love him. And really just any like, I feel like any celebrity would be cool. Like I always thought like in my head I'm like Coyle Ray and G Herbo would really fuck with my like leather pants.
Yeah.
Ones, and like I think
maybe some brand. I think he would fuck with it too. What advice do you have to give to the youth in the industry? Or advice to your younger self, if it makes it easier.
Yeah, I would just like, I think just, I don't know, I think when you kind of grow up in the type of, like we did, I don't know about you, but like I didn't know nothing about like finance and like, you know, money and like credit and stuff like that. So
they should have taught us that in high school, but
right,
they didn't.
Right. So I think when you're being young and you're trying to do a business, it's like even if you're trying to stay on top of that stuff, it's hard to if you just don't even really know. So I guess I would just say inform yourself on just the financial end of things, especially as a business, because like that's like if you learn how to really work your business, like you won't really have to do anything with your own name, you know.
Yeah.
So if you just like keep it in that mind, like that will help a lot, you know, instead of just winging it.
And the last question I have is, how did you feel about this interview?
It was good.
Good?
Yes,
well,
thank you.
Thank you so much for being on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.